Hello, hello, hello. Hi, good morning. Well, it's morning for me. Happy Friday. Friday. If you're listening to this when I posted it, it's Friday. And we're gonna get high today. No, seriously? You know we're gonna do that. But, happy weekend. And regardless, if you're like me and don't see time linear, then it's just another beautiful day that we have to be thankful for, you know. So, oh, thanks for clicking, by the way. This is Gut Instincts Podcast. This is my podcast where I am going to roll a J up and talk to you about some pretty cool stuff. Today I wanted to share a story. Right? I'm going to share my story here, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to attempt to make this episode about, and then I'm going to share the story. And then if you don't like it, then just skip. Like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I mean, you could just use you got this. I always wondered that, like, we can skip this stuff, and then people complain sometimes. Or if it's boring, or, I don't know. I mean, it's just our consciousness, so, I guess really what I'm saying is, be the light that you want to embody, especially online. It's so easy to become negative because of the traps that they put us in, and I don't just mean other beings and lower frequency beings. I mean just like, everything. Advertisements, fucking selling you shit, telling you you're not good enough. It's crazy. You just sit down and say, okay, what do I need today, tomorrow, and the day after? And then when you do that, you realize, holy shit, really don't need much. And then you start humbly saying, okay, I accept what I have, and let's build off that. Let's start to do that. I don't know. That kind of reminds me of when I switched the diet up. It's like, because you go through so much, and you're so confused a lot of the time, and you're always seeking new information, and then you're learning new. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is just drop the beliefs, then the paradigm starts to shift and everything starts to break down in a good way. In a good way. Like freeing my plant up. All this craziness about labeling them and stuff. It's just absolutely insanity that you think that other beings are attempting to. I don't know. I guess it's not. It's pretty standard now in this collective consciousness. It's just if you've never even grown a plant, and then you have a say on. Oh man, if you've never done the research, I don't know. Anyways, hey. What was I going to tell you? Yeah, the story, and this episode, we're going to attempt to talk about light and energy and magnetism. Why? Because, I talk about that a lot, and if you weren't like me, and you weren't like a science nerd back when you're younger, and, you were always looking into the physics and how weird things were, and just, magnetism always tripped me out, and, and energy, and then when you get older and you realize everything that you've been taught and all these people that are teaching you stuff, they're like, oh yeah, but, they don't agree on that. You're like, what the they don't agree on? Do they agree on anything? And then you start to grow, and then you start to realize that they don't agree on anything, because who the hell would agree to something that isn't really have much back to it, or much even proof. Or like science likes to do is describe things. Yeah, that's what they do, right? Describing things. Describing things isn't telling us what it isn't explaining it, right? Okay. I can describe an acoustic guitar to you all day, but you still won't know what it is, or what its purpose is, or that it's probably one of the most amazing instruments. It has something to do with the frequencies on each string and how many you can you can play on it. I'm not pretending like I know it or anything. I'll again, it's like every episode I'll put a disclaimer. I don't know shit. I only know whatever I feel is right in the gut and what I've been shown. Oh, so that story, right? If you haven't skipped already. So the story, I was doing a podcast before, and I'm doing this podcast, and it's probably going to be a multi-series or a multiple part because it's complicated, about time travel, okay? So I kid you not, so I'm working on it, and I do my thing, and then I head out, and I do some errands, which we know that's fun, right? No, it's good. It's enjoyable. It's a blast, especially when you're creating your own reality. So you literally start to. It's my favorite time to just project the most positive, abundant thoughts, and man, I tell you, like just embracing the sun, energizing your being. You can feel. Listen, if you guys aren't crying all the time, I don't know what you're doing, because if you're not feeling this energy and love and these waves, oh boy, embrace them and keep projecting love out, especially over here. I'm digging it. I'm thanking it. I'm thanking it. That's not even a word. Listen, I don't know where my mouth is today. I was gonna avoid. I'm working on. Okay, the reason why we're talking about magnetism today is because I'm working on something. It's part two video of Antarctica. If you guys don't know, Antarctica is pretty interesting. Antarctica is fucking giant, right? And it's barely explored. And I'm sure if more people listen, they'll be like, "Oh, it's explored." Listen, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's all Photoshop. It's all covered up. You want to know where the trillions of dollars went? That's where it fucking went. Okay. If you're hearing that, then you get a little sneak peek, actually, to be honest. This is like divulging my plans here before. But yeah, anyways, I digress. Back to what I was getting at is I'm standing there and in the line, and these older women are sending out their Christmas stuff, and it takes some time, right? We all know what it's like doing the USPS thing, right? Shout out to the USPS. And 1, 2, 3, 4, just people start piling in, and it's obviously tiny, right? Post office. And I'm just whistling, like da 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 da, enjoying life. And then it kicks in, and I think, like, you gotta remember, you created this. So now you gotta think, you didn't even leave your bedroom. Strange, right? You didn't even leave your bedroom. Spiritually, okay? It's energy. When you're driving, when you're walking, I guess it sort of makes things lame like that, but you have to think that you are the one who's creating all this beautiful abundance. So anyways, I'm in the little shop, and a song by ZBB, Zach Brown Band, right, comes on. And it's the one about patience. I I can't think of the way it goes right now, right? But yeah, about waiting, about patience, about it was it was so comical. I couldn't believe it, right? And that's not even the, you're sitting there thinking, well, that wasn't even a good story. No, here's the actual good part. I decided to bring up to the woman next to me that the song that was playing, the lyrics, I told her, if you listen, it's interesting that this song is playing because it's about patience and waiting and such, right? So she instantly comes back to me and goes, what I really like doing is I like capturing moments in my life and feelings and making sure I remember them very, very keenly. I don't know what word I'm looking for, right? She makes a note of them and to store them in the memory bank she goes, for times like these, and starts to laugh. She's like, and then I just drift off and I just and I enjoy it. And if you're not laughing at that, I don't know, maybe I lost you along the way. I was working on time travel and this time travel podcast, and time travel is that, right? I'm pretty sure I might have even explained it like that inside inside the episode. The lightest time travel that one can achieve is to just sit there and, I don't know, if you want to call it daydream, you can call it daydream, but if you're able to pull that memory, that feeling, that moment, right? Mine would be like the flashes of bicycle riding, I don't know, mac and cheese and Saturday morning cartoons. I don't know if they were as bad as back then, that mac and cheese. I wonder when they added that vibrant yellow number 5, 6, 8, 25. No, I'm kidding. I think there's only like 5, 6, and 7 in there. The lakes are the worst. Man, we haven't gotten any diet podcast episodes. Man, that is interesting. The lakes are like dyed. So it's like another chemical that's used on the chemical to make a brighter chemical, to make a cooler chemical. Fucking chemicals, man. Just stay away from them. Just it's really simple. If you want some cheesy mac and cheesy, just get some pasta and then half a block of cheese, or cheddar cheese and then cream cheese, or some sort of melty cheese and cream cheese. Mix that together. If you're a vegan, or obviously that's no go, but you can figure that out. I enjoy cashew cheese. That recipe will be up. Do you guys want recipes? I don't care. I'm gonna do them anyways. That's what I've been working on. So, just bear with me and hang out and enjoy these podcasts and be excited, because I'm gonna have some pretty cool raw chocolate recipe. I've got a cashew cheese recipe. Yep. It's going down. Gut Instincts podcast. Thanks for clicking. Thanks for tuning into your earlobes. I don't know if you're tuning. Well, anyways. Light up that joint if you haven't already. You're sitting there going, damn, RJ, I've already smoked half my joint. Listen, as we do more and more research on the endocannabinoid system, we're going to start realizing the wonders of this plant and kind of what it does. opening your heart, your mind, and of course everyone's different, so we all have to kind of find our, if you want, find our plant, if you will. I bet you there's a plant for everyone. I bet you there's a perfect plant for all of us. So welcome. Kick back, relax, or if you're driving, relax as well, your eyes, but make sure you're staying safe and on the road, and you're traveling, if you're traveling. If you're across the country, or down south, hola, buenos. You want me to get into some juicy stuff? I'll get into some juicy stuff. Magnetism. Okay, straight up, here we go. Gravity doesn't exist. And you're going, what? But I'm standing on the ground. And that's what I learned in high school. Well, guess what? We have to dismiss everything we learned in high school. And not everything we learned in college, because by that time we're sort of lingering in our own consciousness, so we're asking questions and such. And if some of us have had Google and Netflix and YouTube and all that good stuff, and if you know how to use it, okay, there's a key thing, if you know how to use it. Lots just don't know how to use it. I mean, it's not our fault. It took some time. I was a youngin' when I started to dissect the ways of the interwebs. Because when you figure out everything and how it works, it's all pretty much algorithms. So you just gotta talk to the damn computer and algorithms and codes and all that shit. It's kind of boring. But it's pretty cool when you start to think of it, and actually you can use it for your own benefit. That's how you connect. That's how I know I can connect with like-minded individuals, souls. Souls! You're a soul energy. You're an essence. Okay. So, when you wake up every day, the movie starts. And you retrieve the light from the sun. And I know you're sitting there, you'd agree with me, and saying sleep isn't really sleep. You don't really sleep. There's no rest. So many people, that's why so many people have problems, because sleep isn't really resting. It's just going to the other side. Connecting in, if you will. Patching in. Energizing your ether essence. That's why some of us get crazy dreams and such. So, you're really only connected here by a very small percent of your soul. It's connected to this bodily vessel that we got going on. And it's fun and it's beautiful. And what I've realized is it's magnetism is what it is. How, you ask? Well, you have to first learn the way magnetism flows. The real way magnetism flows. And this is why my video's going up. It's actually, the magnetism is a force, and a constant force. And in the center, it is non-magnetic. Okay, so if you think of the domino style magnet, right? And then you have north and south. Naturally, you were taught that it goes from the top to the bottom. And that's actually not the case. What it does is it actually meets in the middle. Both opposing poles meet in the middle, and and that's where the point of zero, if you will, is, right? That's where all the beauty happens. Okay, so what I'm saying is that right there, that quietness, that is where you are. And when I say you, I say that essence, that being. The being is still, it's quiet. It knows that this is all a flow of creation. So there is no out there. There is no getting it. You don't need more money. You don't need more fame. You don't need more love. You need to be more love. You need to be rich in wealth and mentality. You have to embody the projections that suit your being in a love light universe. See, here's the beautiful thing. When you start knowing that there's multiple universes, that's when you have to see them as roads that one can take. And I mean, you know, it's not like any of them are bad, but I'll be straight with you. Some of them are shitty. and they're shitty from the egoic judging side, right? Because I can say that I'm just a human. I don't know, to me it's a little odd when people like bow down to other human beings, because we are all human beings. So like if we're gonna bow down, let's bow down together, one another. And what do we bow down to? The only thing that's higher than us, and that's like the highest creator that pretty much created all of this. Like in ourselves we have the lowest egoic physical, the fluid divinity that is the self, the highest self, that's sort of like the reigning power. That's where you gotta connect to. You just gotta bypass the 1 and 2. If you haven't noticed yet, that's the female and masculine, divine masculine, divine feminine energies. Uh-oh, you catching on? Yeah, you are. Yeah, smart as hell. Alright, so you pass that, you get to the higher self, and then there's a highest self that actually links into multiple, that can see multiple, can pretty much, you know, it's all access, non-linear. You can see yourself. That's where you start seeing yourself in others. You start seeing yourself in every single being. You start noticing the paths. These also might correlate to dimensional realities. And again, I'm not going to claim shit. I don't know. I'm going to light up this joint though for you. It's crazy is what I'm saying. And, alright, and when you realize gravity is bullshit, throw that out the door. Then you throw out, and you throw out the planets as a physical with space. There's really no space in that way that they tell us. And now you're thinking, oh man, next thing this guy's going to tell me is the world's flat. Listen, I'm not saying shit, but but it's all perspective, is what I'm saying. Perspective. And this video is going to go into that, and why. That it's not flat in the way you think. Like, or in the way, and when I say you, I say I'm talking to like my own ego. Because when I first started thinking of it, before I started to learn about how magnetism works with it, and how reality works with it based on perspective of each of us, and then how the collective consciousness works as far as what we see, then I began to kind of put things together. Shit, where was I going? What I'm saying is, I don't even know if it looks like a globe, because really, have we ever seen a fucking real photo of the globe? Man, it's like all their photos are paintings, and it says it right on it. They're painting, they're artist renderings, and then the rest of this shit is all CGI. Have you literally ever seen a real satellite in space? If you guys don't already listen to other people on YouTube, you should give it a shot. Uh, what I'm saying is, if there's no out there, then space is clearly not what they say it is. It's not like, I'm in a fucking spaceship and I got a space fucking helmet and we're gonna go and we're gonna walk, jump on the moon. Alright, let's not talk about how we went to the moon in the 40s once, supposedly. And then, like, never went back there again. Now we're talking about terraforming fucking Mars. A barren, or like a, oh man, I don't know. Again, it's like, these planets are inside, so if why does that matter? Okay, so think about this. If you want to keep control, and you want to just keep control of this physical planet to yourself, what better way to trick people into think that they would be going to off the Earth? So all you literally have to do is give them VR, right? Virtual reality. I've talked to someone about this already. If you give them, plug them in, if you will, plug them in by plugging them out of the Matrix, right? You trick them that they're in a Matrix. See, here's the problem. We do create our own reality, and in a sense we're in a Matrix, but they're trying to trick us to say that this that they've created is a Matrix. And I say they, and that goes, obviously, many, I can't put a label on it. They're going to try to swindle us, and I love that word, swindle. Hey, cheers for you for hanging out. Gut Instincts Podcast. We're questioning everything. Hey, so what I'm saying is, they're going to try to trick us and say, oh, you can plug out of this Matrix by plugging in to our virtual reality Matrix, and then you can get whatever the fuck you want. And I mean, some people might be thinking, oh, that sounds fucking great. But that's sick and twisted, is what it is. And what it is, it all goes back to that satanic stuff. Now we're getting off track, but the satanic is just the opposite, the negative, if you will, energies of the magnetism. Okay, so there's a positive flow and then a negative flow. And it's interesting because it's like, it's all perspective, which is why it can flow the way it is now. And you still wonder, and we still wonder how the hell all this bad stuff is still going on when it's so obvious. But it's actually quite simple. As long as they've got enough negative energy flowing, the collective consciousness as we see it will still say the same. AKA people not being or not answering for some of the really terrible things that are going on right now. So, yeah, so basically we're just switching up the magnetism. So all I need you all to do is to keep the good vibes up, wake up, love yourself. Because when you love yourself, then cool things start to happen. And then when the cool things happen in your life, then you're like, oh, this is so awesome. Now that there are cool things happening in my life, rather than not so cool things happen. And you know what? And it's going to be actually pretty intense. And it's going to get more and more intense. You all need to listen to your higher selves and your guides. There are guides, too, with you. Don't forget. Physical and non-physical. The physical, certain words or certain phrases will pop out almost like hit you like a hammer on your head. You'll walk away from a conversation and be like, why the fuck am I thinking of that one word or that one statement? You gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. Because life is a puzzle. I don't know where I was going at, I'll be honest. That correlates to magnetism because, well, folks, if you stop seeing the physical as physical, because like I said, everything is non-physical, everything is vibrating atoms. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I'm like looking at a void of nothingness. Obviously, I'm in a fucking room, and there's a beautiful guitar in front of me, and this beautiful joint, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a human being, so you have to just open your eyes and see it. I don't know. See it as it is. Perspective, right? See it as perspective. See yourself in this situation as the creator, and then co-creator of the reality. Energy. Energy is magnetism. Well, that was easy, right? What we see is like light is like magnetism can be turned into light. It's all one and the same force, my friends. That's why. Okay, well, you think of it. That's why they want to keep the lies, and because if you don't know this spiritually, then you're completely messed up. You're constantly thinking about your sins, right, or whatever. If you think about that sort of stuff, or you think about, or if you're not, you just don't care, right? So if you don't care, you're just constantly putting out don't care vibes out there, and then there's literally people who embrace the dark energies, and you know what? Good luck for them, right? Love and light is prevailing, and it has been since 2012. If you're talking to me before that, I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's quite a wonderful time to be alive in the human being vessel. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to thank you again. Sending much love, much light, much good energy and vibration, abundance for you in your life. I'm digging the good vibes back. Cranking on the book. I want to get that over. Excited to share that. Hey, you know what? I'm going to light this back up. We're talking about what spirituality and energy and light and love have to do with everything. So what we see now is the breaking of the old paradigm. So we're going to embrace it, and we're going to project love. And what love isn't the ooey gooey stuff that we're kind of used to, or we're kind of told. That's the other thing too. Love is frequency. It's a vibration. It's what can give you the chills down your spine, which are your your chakra portals lighting up, energizing from your root all the way to your top. That's what the feeling of crying is. And then you're thinking, wait, but how about bad feelings? How about bad crying, sad crying? There's really no such thing. So the sad crying, even though it feels shitty and it seems like it's sad, again, it's just the energy the opposite way. So it's not technically supposed to be bad. You're supposed to embrace it. If it feels bad, it's wrong, and it's not right. I know, it's easier said than done. I've already experienced it, and you just have to keep it up. When you keep it up, you start to slowly spin the magnetic energy, magnetic force, the energetic force within. Okay, so the atom. You guys remember high school. You guys remember science. Okay. High school science. It was funny. One time I loved science, and it was one teacher I felt bad. I tortured him. But I was just so bored. We weren't talking about anything interesting. Alright, anyways, the atom. It's the center. Neutrons, protons, and electrons. What do the electrons do? The electrons zip around. They're even said to not be in the same place, right? That's when you get to college. They're said to not even have an actual orbit. They just zip in and out. You know what that's called? That's called ether. What energy is that usually marked as? Think about that for a second. I feel like when I used to watch Blue's Clues, when they ask a question and then they wait and then the kid answers, negative! Did any of you do that? I hope so. Because I heard it. If it's trippy if I heard it, I don't know, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's the ether right there. But then you're asking, oh, so the ether is negative? Well, I don't know. If it's not. It's just, they just zip around where the protons are what are distinct. So if you start to think atom, my book's called The Adam and Eve, The Story of Consciousness. When you think of the mind having a neutral spot, or like I said, a 0 point energy spot where basically it's quiet and still, but that's actually where all of the energy is generated. Ooh, now I'm talking Tesla and free energy stuff. See what I mean? It's all about, if you keep this stuff secret, then you keep free energy secret. You keep everything secret. You keep Antarctica secret. You layer it over Photoshop. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. I told you I'm working on this video, and if you guys think I'm crazy, I give two shit hits. Because remember, trillions, you guys, trillions. I think I heard that 3 or 4 times since I've been alive, and I'm not that old, my friends. I'm sure there are plenty of you that are much older than me. Trillions. If they can keep this lie alive, then they keep everything alive. And if they can trick you into submitting into capturing your soul, oh my god, now I'm really gonna throw you off. If they can convince you and get you locked in and capture your vessel and then harness the energy of your soul, if any of you know, the energy is your heart. It's your heart center chakra. Your heart is like I think it's 100-watt generator or something like that. The equivalent. Don't quote me on that. It's something pretty powerful. Right. You see where it's all connecting? And I know you are, because even I am mind blown, even as I speak. Right? My friends, we were talking about the Adam and Eve, right? Okay. So you have to think of the quiet center of yourself is found through meditation. This is where sleeping links in. So, I get it. I haven't been meditating. That's probably why I sound like this. But I'm still projecting that love, and I'm gonna do some meditating, hopefully, and drinking more water. And I'm only human, right? When you meditate, you get right to that center, and once you're at that center, you're controlling what's being dropped in, if you will, clearly into the realm of thoughts, which are going to come out as creation. Hopefully I said that good. So yeah, when you do that, and when you can reach that quietness, and anyone who meditates, you'll know what I'm talking about, right? Because before I was doing a lot more meditation, and I was getting there quicker and easier and staying there longer. And that's where you project your love, your light for all humanity. It's where we need it. So if you could do that, that'd be really great, especially our children, because the whole Pizzagate situation, people are just acting like it's a fucking joke, and it's not. This is the evil entities. This is what I mean. They harness children's energy. And if you don't believe it, in time, if you will, all will be exposed by the light. All will be exposed. So, share it, be vigilant, keep projecting that love, keep projecting that light, keep smoking that good herb. Big shout out to all of you. I don't know why I said shout out. I don't know why I do that. I gotta do that. I want to send lots of love for tuning in, for raising your frequency with me, for medicating with me, for giving me the time through your earlobes. Giving me the time. Gut Instincts Podcast. Thanks you so much. Hey, if you want more of this crazy shit, go to rjmartins.com. If you want to help out and get the videos faster, feel free to donate. But that's okay if you don't. I don't really care either way. I'm still gonna do it and bust my ass. Peace and love, homies and homettes. I guess homies are homettes, are girls, male, female. All energies, all energy beings. Love and light, peace.